So you have your design all finished, and now you want to build it in reality. So of course that means you're going to need parts. In this video I'm going to show you how to take your design and create a parts list in Rebrickable and then use that to order parts from Bricklink. This is a design that I just finished up for a client, and now I want to be able to take it and go into Bricklink and actually check the cost of the parts. So I'm going to take you through a step-by-step showing you how to do that. First thing is that we are not going to be using the parts list export tool out of Studio. We're going to be using the original IO file to do this. Next, what we need to do is go to Rebrickable, and on the top bar here we have a few options. We're going to go to My Lego, which is right beside your account, and at the bottom of that you're going to open up My Custom Lists. Then we're going to add a new list. From there we are going to import and delete parts. We will select our IO file, and then you are going to click append parts. This is going to take a few seconds to generate your parts list. Before I continue, a quick reminder about the Studio Lego Designers Facebook group. This group continues to grow, and there's a lot of great contributions happening from all the members. It is a fantastic, positive group to join and get your questions answered or offer advice or show off your works that you've created in Studio. So if you wish to join that community, go on over to Studio Lego Designers Facebook page. The link will be in the description below. As well, for those that don't know, I am a freelance commission Lego designer. So if you have a project you wish to see brought into reality in brick form, then please get in touch with me. Also, I create instructions for other designers. So if you have a design that you wish to have instructions created for it, please get in touch. Thank you so much. Once you have your parts list in, you can see at the bottom here, you're going to have hopefully just a few warnings and not too many errors. This is why I like to use Rebrickable to generate the parts list, because it will find any errors or any warnings that crop up with your bricks so that you can easily change them. Sometimes Rebrickable will give you a false error, especially if it's small parts that are in an assembly. For instance, chain links. Sometimes those are an assembly of parts and Rebrickable looks for all the individual parts. So this is why it's important to take a look at those errors and make sure that they are correct and that your parts lists are correct before you go to export it to Bricklink. What I usually like to do here is open up another tab showing that custom list so that I keep all of my errors on one tab and then the parts list on the other, so I can make any changes that need to be made. Once you click out of this screen, you won't be able to have that error list anymore, so it's really good to have that reference. So now I'll just go back and forth between this list and the errors to make sure that everything is the way it should be. If there's a part number that pops up that you're not sure what it is, what you can do is just do a quick Google search to find out the part that's the problem. In this case, I have a long string, and as I said before, Rebrickable is reading it as 3 different components instead of just the single assembly, so that is where that error is popping up from. So in order to correct that one, I'm going to click on Add Part, type in the part number and type in string and see what pops up. And I'm looking for the 41L, and unfortunately they don't have it listed here, so I'm going to have to add that separately into Bricklink. And sometimes what you have to do is add in the part number when you are looking for a particular part. That was the problem in this case. They actually had the 41L in the database, but it didn't come up when I did the search. So then I had to go and just type in the part number, and there it is. And voila, it's added. What you're going to want to do here in Rebrickable is go down and make sure there are no color errors or anything like that, or looking for parts that you might have used an older version for instead of the new version, so they're duplicated. So go through all the parts lists like that and make sure it's all nice and tidy here before you export it to Bricklink. When you've done that, you can go to the Export Parts drop-down menu and export the list as a Bricklink XML. You're going to get a pop-up window with all of this information on it, and what you're going to want to do is copy that and put it into some sort of text editor. Alternatively, if you just want to copy and paste this over into the Bricklink window, you can do that. I usually like to save the file because then I can send it off to my clients so that if they are ordering in the parts for themselves, that they can do that. At the bottom of that pop-up window is a link to the Bricklink upload page, so you can click on that and it will bring up Bricklink. When that window pops up, after you've signed in, you're going to have the option to upload the file from your computer, or you can upload the Bricklink XML format. And this is where you're going to copy this information and paste it into that window. At the top in this drop-down menu, you have the option of creating a new wanted list. So you're probably going to want to do that just to keep your parts all nice and organized. And then you can click this button down here that says proceed to verify items. And that will take a little bit to generate a wanted list for you. And from here you're going to go through a regular Bricklink order. I've already had a video showing how to go through and order stuff from Bricklink. So I will post the card for that and you can take a look at that video. But right now I want to go back to Rebrickable and show you some other options available in Rebrickable that are a little bit hidden, and that may help you out when creating your parts lists. By far one of the most popular mocks I've made instructions for is Ryan Kroboth's Hogwarts Epic Extension. There's over 19,000 pieces on it, and it's a huge addition to the official Hogwarts set. So this set comes in two different pieces. There's a large extension and a small extension, and some customers only want to purchase enough parts for the large or the small and then get the parts in for the other side and build it that way because it's a little bit easier on the budget. As well, you can use some parts out of the original official set to complete this build. So to be able to figure out what parts are matching and everything like that, you need to be able to figure out which parts out of that Hogwarts set you can use to create this. It sounds complicated, but actually there's a really easy way to do this in Rebrickable. I'm using Hogwarts here as an example because it's really complicated, but this can apply to any of the mocks that you've designed that have multiple parts or that use parts from other sets. So what you're going to do is go to My Custom Lists again, and then you're going to create a custom list for each section like I showed you how to do before. After that, you're going to go to Sets and then Compare Sets. So here you can type in your set number, that's the original set, and then use that to compare it to a custom list. So in my case, I'm going to compare it to custom list number 1. And then you're going to click on compare sets. If the set is too large, you're going to get a warning like this that says the result is too large. So what you're going to have to do in that case is take the set itself and put it in a custom list. I will show you how to do that through Studio right now. So one thing you can do in Studio, which is really neat, is to import a official Lego set. In our case, we want Hogwarts, so we will import that, and you can either import it in the screen or as a palette, and we want it in the screen. You may get some error messages of parts that weren't able to be imported. Most of these are things with prints or stickers that are unique to that set or minifig parts. You're going to click OK, and then we have all the parts for the set laid out for us. So then what you can do is simply save that as its own IO file. And then you're going to go back into Rebrickable and create a custom list using that IO file. Once again, you're going to go into compare sets, and now we can compare two different custom lists. So we can compare this custom list, which is Hogwarts, and this custom list, which is the small extension for Hogwarts. So then we click on compare sets again, and now we do not have that warning. So our first custom list is Hogwarts. Our second one is the small extension. So these parts are the unique parts in the small extension that don't exist in Hogwarts. So in this case, you're going to want to export this part list as a Bricklink XML and then go through the stages of creating a parts list in Bricklink. So this was a really neat feature I found on Rebrickable, and it's going to save me a lot of time anyways in figuring out which parts I need to buy extra in mocks and things like that if I have a original set. So hopefully that will help you out as well. I'm going to give a nod here to Rebrickable. I think it's a great resource for keeping track of your parts, your sets, all of these kind of things. If you take a look through all the options on Rebrickable, there is so much available. Not to mention you can find the instructions for mocks, like the designs that I do are all up there. You can look under Playwell Bricks to find all of the mocks that I've made available. And if you get into designing and you want to sell your instructions, I would definitely suggest Rebrickable as a first stop to go and do that. They have a great audience, and if you subscribe to premium membership, they'll put it on social feeds and things like that. So it is a great launching point for your design career. And I'm not sponsored by Rebrickable, but I do think it's a great service. So hopefully this has helped you out to be able to take your designs and get your parts list up and being able to order in the parts for them and create them in real life. I get a little rush every time that I take my design out of digital space and am able to hold it in my hands and play with it. It is a fantastic experience. If this video has helped you out, please take the time to like, subscribe, and share it around. In the next video, I'm going to be looking at how to do illegal techniques in Studio. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Keep dreaming in bricks. Bye-bye.